Have you ever felt like your own mind is your worst enemy, constantly replaying mistakes, worrying about the future, and filling your head with a storm of negative thoughts? It's exhausting, isn't it? It feels like you're being dragged around by a force you can't control. But what if I told you that you hold the power to tame that storm? Today, I want to share a simple yet profound story about a Zen master and a small cat that might just change the way you see your own mind. Once, in a serene monastery nestled high in the mountains, lived a wise old Zen master. He was known throughout the land for his profound teachings and his tranquil presence. One day, a young, anxious man came to him, his face etched with worry. "Master," he began, his voice trembling slightly, "my mind is a torment. It never stops. It's filled with fear, regret, and anxiety. It jumps from one thought to another like a wild animal, and I feel like it's destroying my life. How can I find peace? How can I control it?" The old master listened patiently, his eyes calm and kind. He didn't offer a complex philosophical lecture. Instead, he simply smiled and said, "I understand. But before I answer, I have a small task for you." He gestured towards a playful little cat that was chasing a sunbeam on the floor. "This little one," the master said, "is very special, but he has a habit of wandering off. For the next 7 days, I want you to make sure he stays right here in this room with me. You can use this." He handed the young man a short piece of rope. The young man was confused. He had come seeking profound wisdom about the mind, and he was being asked to babysit a cat. But out of respect for the master, he agreed. The first day was a nightmare. The cat was a whirlwind of energy. It tried to dart out the door, climb the screens, and hide under furniture. The young man spent the entire day chasing it, his frustration mounting. He would tie one end of the rope to the cat's collar and the other to a table leg. But the cat would either get tangled or cry pitifully. By evening, the man was more exhausted and stressed than ever before. His own mind was racing with irritation. "This is impossible," he thought. The next few days were much the same. The man was in a constant battle with the cat, a constant state of tension. He was so focused on controlling the cat that he had no time for his own anxious thoughts. But he wasn't at peace either. He was simply distracted by a new struggle. His initial respect for the master began to waver, replaced by a growing sense of frustration with this seemingly pointless task. On the 5th day, something shifted. The young man was tired of fighting. Instead of yanking the rope, he started to observe the cat. He noticed its patterns. He saw when it liked to sleep in the sun, when it wanted to play, and when it was hungry. He started anticipating its needs. He would play with it, using a feather toy when it was energetic, and give it space when it wanted to rest. He stopped using the rope to restrain the cat and started using it as a gentle guide, a loose connection rather than a chain. By the seventh day, a remarkable change had occurred. The rope lay coiled on the floor, unused. The cat no longer tried to escape. It would happily stay in the room, sometimes purring on the young man's lap, sometimes playing quietly by itself. It felt safe and content. The young man sat peacefully, watching the cat, and for the first time in a long time, his own mind was quiet. He felt a sense of calm he hadn't experienced in years. When the master entered the room, he saw the man and the cat resting peacefully together. He smiled. "So," the master asked gently, "have you learned how to control the cat?" The young man looked up, a look of realization dawning on his face. "Master," he said, "I think I've learned something far more important. I realized that the harder I tried to control the cat, the more it fought against me. The real secret wasn't to control it, but to understand it. By observing it, understanding its nature, and giving it what it needed, it naturally became calm and cooperative." The Zen master nodded, his eyes twinkling. "Exactly," he said, "and your mind is just like that little cat. You came to me wanting to control your mind, to tie it down, to force it into submission. But your mind, like that cat, resists being chained. The more you fight your thoughts, the more you try to suppress your feelings of anxiety or fear, the stronger and more chaotic they become. You get tangled in the rope of your own resistance," he continued. "The path to peace is not through control, but through understanding. Don't fight your thoughts. Don't wrestle with your anxiety. Instead, become a gentle observer of your own mind. Watch your thoughts come and go without judgment, like clouds passing in the sky. Notice your feelings without getting swept away by them. Understand what triggers your anxiety. What are the patterns? What does your mind truly need? Does it need reassurance? Does it need rest? Does it need a new perspective?" This story is a powerful metaphor for our relationship with our own consciousness. We are often taught to fight our negative thoughts, but this only creates an internal war. The real practice is mindfulness, a gentle, compassionate observation. When a worrisome thought arises, instead of panicking and trying to force it away, you can simply acknowledge it. You can say to yourself, "Ah, there is a thought of worry." By not engaging, by not feeding it with more fear and resistance, the thought loses its power. It's like the cat. Once you stop pulling the rope, it stops pulling back. This doesn't mean you let your mind run wild and destroy everything. It means you become the wise caretaker of your mind. You provide it with what it needs to be healthy: positive inputs, moments of silence, acts of kindness, and a compassionate perspective. You learn its nature. Maybe your mind gets anxious when you're tired, or when you've been scrolling through social media for too long. Understanding this is the first step. The solution isn't to yell at your mind for being anxious. It's to get some rest or put the phone away. So, the next time you feel that inner storm brewing, remember the monk and the cat. Put down the rope, stop fighting, take a deep breath and just observe. Watch the thoughts, feel the emotions, and ask yourself with kindness, what does my mind need right now? You might be surprised to find that by releasing the need for control, you gain something far greater, true inner peace. Your mind can become not a wild animal to be tamed, but a trusted friend and a peaceful companion on your journey through life. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you find peace and clarity. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Take care and be kind to your mind.